Soft, bouncy, and translucent, but this dough is one of the hardest to get right. So let me show you what actually works.
When you think of dumplings, Vietnam probably isn't the first place that comes to mind, but it should be, because today I'm going to show you how to make Bánh Bột Lọc, which is a juicy shrimp and pork dumpling that's wrapped in a soft and chewy tapioca skin. If you love the bouncy and chewy texture of boba, you're going to be obsessed with this.
And once you get this dough right, the rest is actually pretty simple.
So we don't need too many ingredients to make this. We're going to be using some pantry staples, but what you're going to need to grab is some pork belly, shrimp, and tapioca starch. For the pork, feel free to use pork shoulder if you're avoiding fat, but honestly, you don't even need to use pork. That's just what's traditional. I think skinless chicken thigh would also be a good substitute. So let's put the proteins aside for now because we need to work on the batter first. As much as I love cooking, anything that involves flour, kneading, or baking just freaks me out.
So because I've struggled with this dough before, I tested a few methods to make sure you get it right on your very first try. Tapioca starch doesn't behave like regular flour. It only turns soft and chewy when it's heated properly. If not, you get a thick, stiff wrapper and it's just not worth eating. What you're seeing here is the traditional method, pouring boiling water directly into the starch. But as you can see, it's hard to control and the results can vary. So instead, I'm gonna give you my auntie's method. She's been making this for years and it works every time, so you know it's legit. This stovetop method properly gelatinizes the starch so your dough turns soft, chewy, and consistent. Here, I'm gently heating the starch over medium-low heat while slowly adding warm water. It won't come together right away, and that's okay. Right now, we're just activating the starch. We're gonna bring it all together when we need it later. Don't forget to add a bit of oil and salt because this is gonna help keep the dough soft, smooth, and much easier to work with. After about 5 minutes on the stove, transfer the dough to a bowl and mix it until it starts to come together. Then, move it to a clean, lightly floured surface and knead by hand until it's smooth, soft, and slightly tacky but not sticky. It should feel almost like mochi or like Play-Doh, fresh out of the container, elastic but able to stretch without tearing. Once it's ready, place the dough back into a bowl, cover it with some plastic wrap, and let it rest so it doesn't dry out.
So as we let the dough rest, let's work on our filling. So we have this huge piece of pork belly. What we're gonna have to do is cut it down to bite-sized pieces, same with the shrimp. And when it comes to the shrimp, depending on the size of shrimp you get, you can cut it into like 5 pieces, just like this. Traditionally in Vietnam, for Bánh Bột Lọc, they use a type of shrimp called sauté. It's a type of shrimp that has a very thin shell that you can just eat. Some of you might be like, that's crazy to eat the shell. But to some dishes, it actually adds a really nice fragrance and a nice textural contrast. For example, there's a dish called tôm rim, and it's kind of like braised shrimp. But it's just not the same with peeled shrimp. So if you like seeing those types of very homey Vietnamese dishes, don't forget to subscribe because we're gonna be exploring a lot more of that very soon. So now that everything's all chopped up, let's marinate our pork. So to the pork, let's add a little bit of chicken powder, fish sauce, sugar, and lots of black pepper. And for aromatics, we're also gonna add some chopped shallots, minced garlic, and a little bit of the white part of the green onions. I'm only adding the white part of the green onion in here. The green parts I've saved to make mỡ hành, which is scallion oil, a topping that you're gonna need later on for this dish. If you don't know how to make that yet, be sure to check out my essentials video, which I'm gonna link below, so that you know how to make that, and also nước mắm chấm, which we're also gonna need. Okay, so that's all done. Now let's head over to the stove, cook the filling, and then we can start making our dumplings.
For the filling, heat up some neutral oil in a pan or a wok. Then add a bit of paprika. This is my quick shortcut to an annatto seed oil. In goes some garlic and shallots, and let's let that cook for a few seconds until fragrant. Then we're gonna add in our pork belly. Let it cook through for 3 to 4 minutes before we add in the shrimp. We're adding the shrimp later because shrimp cooks fairly quickly and we wanna keep that nice bouncy texture. And that's about it. You can add a bit more paprika if you want a little bit more color, and we'll just let it cook through and set it aside.
Okay, so our filling's done and our dough's been resting a little bit. So now is the perfect time to start working the dough and make our wrappers. So take the dough out. You may notice that it's gotten a little bit dry, and if it has, you can add a little bit of water just to revive it. Knead it back into life for a minute or so.
Divide the dough into 4 portions. You'll work with one at a time. Keep the rest covered so it doesn't dry out. Roll each portion into a log, then cut into small, even pieces, about the size of a walnut. Each log should give you around 10 to 12 pieces. Keep them covered as you go. Drain any excess liquid from the filling and keep it nearby. Take one piece of dough, roll it into a ball, then flatten it in the palm of your hands. Using your fingers, gently press and stretch the edges outward to form a thin, round wrapper about 2 inches wide with the center slightly thicker than the edges. Add the filling and don't overstuff. I like using chopsticks here because it gives you more control and it helps tuck everything in really neatly. Then simply press the edges together to seal. The dough is naturally sticky, so you don't have to do any pleating. And look at that! Isn't that adorable? Okay, let's keep going. So, Bánh Bột Lọc actually comes from Huế, Vietnam's old imperial capital, where they were making food for the emperor. So the food was always designed to be very refined, beautifully presented, and often served in smaller, bite-sized portions. It actually comes in 2 forms. A more modest one that's wrapped in banana leaf and steamed called Bánh Bột Lọc lá. And then we have this cheeky one that we're making called Bánh Bột Lọc chân, which literally means naked dumpling. Do you have a preference between the two? Let me know in the comments below. Oh my god, finally, let's get cooking. Bring a pot of water to a boil, then add a small splash of oil and a bit of rock sugar. The oil is going to help prevent sticking and the sugar gives the dumpling a slightly glossier finish. Gently drop the dumplings in and let them cook until they float to the surface. This usually takes about 3 to 4 minutes. And once they float, let them go for another minute to make sure the dough is fully cooked through. Then, transfer them straight into an ice bath. This is going to stop the cooking and help tighten up that chewy, bouncy texture. Drain them well and let them sit for a few minutes to get rid of any excess water. Finish with a generous amount of scallion oil because this is going to help keep them from sticking and adds a rich and savory aroma that really brings everything together. And remember to serve this with some fried shallots, pickled carrots and daikon, nước mắm chấm, and a few sprigs of cilantro. Oh, soft, bouncy, perfectly chewy, exactly how it's supposed to be. It's the perfect afternoon snack.
I just doused this in some fish sauce. We have some scallion oil on here. It looks so glossy and delicious. Honestly, I just love that chew. It's so different than all the other dumplings that are typically made with wheat wrappers. The pork belly is nice and savory, and then you have that like nice chewiness of the shrimp to really balance it out. It's really good. I used to love this dish when I was growing up, and I remember being super young and taking a sick low with my babu to chợ Bến Thành to eat this. There's just nothing like it. So if you guys like what I'm doing on this channel and you want to support me, please remember to like, subscribe, and also hit the hype button. It's gonna help this video reach more Viet foodies. And stay tuned for more Viet favorites. See you guys next time. Bye.